Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. The Yankees lose a wild one in the Bronx, and we evaluate Brian Cashman's trade deadline. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports for New York Nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.
Well, there you have it, folks. Welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to visit the New York Nuts merch store. That's the beautiful blue link underneath the video. What did I just watch? What's going on? That's like every bad Twilight Zone Black Mirror show I've ever seen because the ending is terrible for the viewer. The New York Yankees were at the top of the mountain, and then they were at the bottom of the gutter drinking pond scum in the middle of the road, and the Yankees lose 13-7. Talk about getting your hopes up. Talk about getting your hopes down. And the New York Yankees started off the game, and we thought that Cam Schlittler was going to be cutting through the St. Louis Cardinals like a hot knife through butter because the St. Louis Cardinals have been struggling at the plate. And just when you think that you got baseball figured out, that's why John Sterling would always say, "That's baseball, Susan." 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He just didn't have it tonight. He tried his best, but Killer Cam just didn't have his stuff tonight. And then the Yankees get down 6-0. And lately, with the New York Yankees, when you get down 6-0, hell, when the New York Yankees get down 2-0, it seems like it's going to be an insurmountable level of runs. But guess what? The New York Yankees showed some life tonight.
Boys, counts. Boys.
They showed some pop, baby. The Yankees fought back with 2 sets of back-to-back home runs. You got Wells and Trent, and then McMahon and Caballero put together home runs, and then we were on top of the party, baby. We were dancing. We were making that move. We were making eye contact with that chick we've been talking about. And then, to put the cherry on top, the newly acquired Garcia, loved the bat speed, shows pop, and gets a huge home run to put the Yankees up 7-6. And then what happens? What's been going on all season long? Just when you think you got this figured out? Nope. Just when you think you got the answers, the New York Yankees change the questions. And they proceed to drop trowel and give up 7 runs in the 8th inning. Yankee Stadium looked like a party tonight. People were hugging. People were dancing. Finally, some runs were scored, and the Yankees offense was going to bail out the pitching for once. But Chavez said, you know what? Hold my beer. And he was the sacrificial lamb tonight. Man, Boone left him in there. I don't know if Boone took his parking spot today before practice, but man, Boone was like, this one's on you, buddy. We got to save the bullpen for the rest of this series. And now the Yankees bullpen is getting a little taxed. But let's talk about Garcia. You want to talk about Brian Cashman's instant impact to the roster. They bring him in from the Nationals, and he's already paid dividends. He had 2 hits, the home run, 2 RBIs. Love the bat speed. Plug him into the 3rd spot, and already he's showing offensive pop that I really like. But now, let's talk about the New York Yankees today and the trade deadline. Man, it's been a long day. I've been here since 9 a.m. covering all the moves, or lack thereof, of Brian Cashman. And my question to you guys is, did Brian Cashman fail the New York Yankees at this trade deadline? He didn't get a catcher, and that is malfeasance and malpractice on Brian Trashman. How do you not go into this season with a right-handed hitting catcher and only lefties on the major league level and in AAA? Then we wait to the trade deadline, and you still don't address the situation. I don't care who it is, a mop in a bucket or a bag of oranges at this point. I wanted a new catcher in the house. But you know what's so funny? All the guys that were involved in all the trade talks for the past month and a half, McMahon, Wells, they all had big nights tonight. Do you notice that? Maybe a little pressure off the shoulders knowing that they're not going to be traded off to some team in a deal, and now they're able to relax and score some runs. Cashman was interviewed, and he said this about the catching position. We believe we have quality catching. And this is when I tear out my hair and I talk to you about the New York Yankees and Brian Cashman gaslighting the fan base. He's doing it on purpose. Nobody in their right mind could say that they have quality catchers on this team because Austin Wells is statistically the worst offensive player in all of baseball this year. And you know what? It would be perfect Brian Cashman style to tell us Ali Sanchez had 3 hits 4 days ago, and now we can rely on him for offensive production. No. Go and get the guy from the Cincinnati Reds. Go and get somebody, Cashman, just to prove a point to the catchers in the house that there's competition and that they can't hit 111 and be the worst hitter in offense in Major League Baseball and still have a job. But I'll tell you this, the answer was an Adley Rutschman, and that's Adley with an A, Rutschman, because he's not the answer. He's currently on the injured list. You would have had to lock me in a mental institution today if the Yankees traded for him and he's on the IL when they get him. The whole team's on the IL. The whole team is the walking wounded. So why would you bring in a guy that's hurt? Not to mention, the Boston Red Sox had to pay a boatload of prospects. And I understand what prospects. You can shit in one hand and hope in the other and see which one fills up first. Actually, prospects are like money at strip joints. When you step foot out of the place, it loses its value immediately, so you might as well spend while you're in the club. And that's exactly what they did. But it was worse than the Skubal deal. The Boston Red Sox gave up their number 1 and 4 prospect in their franchise, and they're highly touted in Major League Baseball. So the Boston Red Sox just overpaid for a guy who's also perpetually hurt. He's hurt all the time. And not to mention the old Trojan horse. I always smell a rat when a divisional rival wants to trade me one of the guys that they thought their franchise was going to be wrapped around and was in the MVP candidate 2 years ago. Reminds me of Jacoby Ellsbury a little bit. And that always makes me scared. Now, today, before Garcia had this great game at home tonight, and I bet you that's going to change people's opinion real quick, Brian Cashman goes and gets Garcia from the Nationals. This is going to work perfect. Garcia is going to bat against right-handed pitching. Goldschmidt's going to hit against left-handed pitching. Ben Rice moves to the DH. Now you give Goldschmidt more days off because you know his offensive production falls off a cliff when he doesn't get days off. Ben Rice also get days off, who's been playing every single day, played in the home run derby, did the All-Star game, does everything that's asked of him. He needs to lighten his load a little bit to pause with the DH, and then until help comes. Ramos was an upgrade over Schumann in left field because Cody Bellinger is hurt probably until the second week of September. So these guys are the stopgap until help arrives. We still don't know what Big G, Cody Bellinger, or Aaron Judge, if we're getting them back at all, or what kind of players they're going to be when they do come back. But these guys bridge the gap, and it will help the Yankees, obviously, with the pop, because Garcia showed that exactly tonight. And you know, this is what Brian Cashman's going to say when he's interviewed tomorrow. All the guys that are hurt on the New York Yankees are better than anything that was out on the trade market. He's going to say Clark Schmidt, Carlos Rodon, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Cody Bellinger, and LaGrange, if healthy and come back, the New York Yankees are a loaded team, and it was better than risking the farm and going after it this year when you can hold the own guys that you have on the roster in the payroll and get to the World Series in a poor American League. Because listen, if everybody on the Yankees roster is healthy, this is a World Series team with how poor the American League is. Then think about this offseason and this trade deadline, where we started about a month and a half ago right here on this show, New York Minute Sports Show. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Me and the New York Nuts have been talking trades for about a month and a half, and think about how the mighty have fallen. We went from talking about getting Scooble to getting Mason Miller to getting the Super Mario Brothers. So that's what everyone was upset about. Everyone wanted a big splash, a big gift under the Christmas tree. And don't get me wrong, a big signing's always sexy in baseball, and you always want, but not a silver bullet is going to change this team, guys. There is no quick fix to this team. Do they have a plethora of platoon guys? Absolutely. Is it all nothing but matchup guys now in the dugout? Absolutely, guys. So my question to you is, what grade are you giving Brian Cashman on this trade deadline? Some people are saying it is the worst trade deadline in Brian Cashman's tenure. Brian Cashman's thinking was that everybody in the American League is still in contention. The Cleveland Guardians last year coming back from 13 and a half games down, and look at how tight the Central is. Look at how tight the AL West is. In years past, there would be such a difference between the have and have-nots, and there would be two good teams in each division, and then the bottom half would sell off. Not anymore. Even in the National League, everybody is still in the race, so that mitigates sellers and buyers right off the bat. And I think Scooble was the major domino that fell in the beginning and scared off the rest of teams. Another thing that scared teams was the looming lockout of 2027, and they don't know what the collective bargaining agreement is. They don't know what the contracts are going to be like, and there's too much gray area for cheap owners like Hal Steinbrenner. Another thing is, too, if the Yankees were to go get Scooble, think about the money that he's going to get. He's a Boris client. He's a one-year rental for the LA Dodgers, a half-year rental. If the Yankees were to sign him, the Yankees already have Carlos Rodon, Max Fried, and Garrett Cole locked up, and that alone is about $110 million a year. And they're going to have to pay Cam Schlittler. So the Yankees wouldn't have been able to retain Scooble anyway, and that's just a pipe dream. Mason Miller, we don't score enough runs to get to him. So what good is a Corvette on cinder blocks in your garage? So this is what Brian Cashman has left us with, and now your answer to what the trade deadline was. The answers are in the house. The call's coming from inside the house, folks. And you can call me over at Instagram at NEWYRKMIN. That's the New York Minute Sports Show. Anywhere in that smoke wagon you call the information superhighway, you can find this face. Lucky you. Also, have you visited the New York Nuts merch store? That's the beautiful blue link underneath the video. All the t-shirts are made in the USA, just like yours truly. Also, have you become a New York Nut yet? For $1.99 a month, you get twice the show for half the dough. We do our Monday baseball show with Mike from Pudgy Boy Sports. Trust me, you're going to love the way you look in the t-shirts, and you're going to love the show. I guarantee it. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Good night, Canada. Bye.
That's your boy.
So
He
have the
who
word
said
for-
he was
Goodbye, that's my boy.